Alrighty guys, let me make sure the sound seems to be working and video seems to be on, and I think we are good to go. Alrighty, well, welcome back to Standard Combat Series from MMP. This is of course Panzer Battles, the 11th Panzer on the Chir River. Scenario 2.3. This will be turn number 2, and this is how things stand after the first turn. So the German forces own State Farm 79 right here, and the town is Soroskin. These two village hexes need to be taken by the Germans by the end of this turn to be successful. Right now the Russians have units in there. They are out of supply, which means they're going to be at half defensive strength. But things are going to get a lot worse for the Germans shortly. You can see they got a couple of reinforcements down here. The Germans kind of came in, pushed the anvil. The hammer came in from the front and really pushed the Russians back. The anvil of the hammer came in from the flank here, boxed these units in, and several units were eliminated because of failure to be able to retreat into different locations. And these units here, although semi-strong, now that they're out of supply, and if the Germans can get some artillery barrages on them, that's going to make things really rough for the Russians. So, starting turn number 2, we should be able to finish this here. It's only a 2-turn scenario. I want to get this cleaned up, moved out of the way. I was trying to cut counters the other day. I had this in the way, and so here we are with turn number 1, initiative phase. Both players roll for initiative. The side with the higher roll obtains the initiative. And if you're Russian, you will get air support for the turn, reroll any ties, play activation chits into their respective cups. So, we got a die here, one for the German player, one for the black will be for German, white will be for Russian. Higher number gets to go first, and they're going to get to draw one of their chits. So let's see what happens here. And fortunately, the Russians win the initiative, so they're going to get to draw first. Now, it matters what they draw. So what we have here, as you can see, you're supposed to put these in a cup, but I don't have a cup, and just to make things a little easier, what I'm going to do is just number these chits. I'm just going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same thing for the Russians, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I roll a 6, I'll just re-roll. Now, what we'll do is I'll try and roll this here and figure out which one we draw out of the cup. If they draw a 5, that's going to be devastating, to say the least. All right, so they rolled a 3, so they're going to draw out this. This is the one they would draw out of the cup. So if you're at home and you're just drawing out of your cup, you would just reach in and grab one, but I'm just going to make it a little simpler and just draw it out. Hey Philip, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. So they're going to get to activate all of their units that have got the pink stripe, which are basically just about all the units that are on the map, although this one AT unit does not. I think it's an independent unit. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't have a pink stripe. So all these units, all these units, all these units, all these. Unfortunately for them, all their reinforcements, notice, do not have any of the pink stripe. So they're not going to be able to get this. But they will be able to call in some reinforcements. I'll be starting my new channel on Thursday. What's your channel name going to be, Philip? What's going to be your channel name? Is it still the same name, or? So, first tank and 5th mechanized division, corps, I'm not sure what it is. But that's who we got to play with. So, all right, so now we're going to roll a die. And we're going to roll for a planes, because we're going to go right into the barrage phase here. So on a 4 or 5, they'll get 1 plane, and on a 6, they'll have 2. 1, nothing. No planes arrived to help. That is going to be making them very, very sad. So barrage phase is going to go pretty quickly because I don't believe the Russians currently have any barrage units on the map. Nope. Let's check this hex just to make sure. They do not. They have no artillery units. The one artillery unit they had was destroyed in turn number 1. So we can skip the barrage phase. We can go to the road march phase. We can ignore the road march phase because everyone's within 3 hexes of a German and they're not on the road, and there's many reasons why. Wardrobe, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for our little surprise. So I'm looking forward to getting that sometime in the next week or so. So I appreciate your effort in getting that for me and setting that up so I can be a happy camper. So I appreciate that. So since you just joined us, we are in the Russians' 1 initiative. They drew the 1st tank and 5th mech corps, which are all the units with the pink stripe, which are all the units currently on the map. All the reinforcements do not have any pink stripe, so they won't be able to come on this turn. And unfortunately for them, they just failed their check to see if they're going to get any planes. So, and they don't have any other barrages. They will not have any road marches. Now we can have movement. Movement. You know what? This is going to be really interesting because we're going to be able to get these guys back in supply. Because I can put the unit, it's going to cost him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to move there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to move there. And now these units can trace supply through these friendly units and out. Wow, that is huge, because then we can get rid of these supply out of supply markers at the end of the turn. The other option is to actually how many? I'm just going to remove these for a second. They're actually going to get some more reinforcements in those hexes. So they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to move there. And this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go in there. And I knocked my stack over. So getting the initiative first might actually help the... Oh, God damn it. Pick up this unit. Thank you. Flip it back over. By the way, guys, if you're interested, be sure to check out Wardrobe, aka Italian Hobbyist. Hopefully I've been saying that correctly all these years. Probably not, though. But be sure to check out Wardrobe. And great guy. Great guy. So that's interesting now, because we had this discussion at the end of the last episode that they can only trace supply through friendly units that block enemy zone of control. So these units would be able to get back in supply, but that's not happening yet. Not yet. But these units can go in there and help reinforce that, those hexes, which is going to be huge to making it a lot harder. Right? I mean, wardrobe, you see what I'm talking about? These guys here can then trace supply into this hex, and back out. Now the Germans can block that off, but it's going to cost them at least one activation to be able to do that. And then this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, it costs you 2 to move into an enemy zone of control. You can move into as many enemy zones of control as you want during your movement. Now this guy here is an interesting, what is he going to do? Because he can actually help support one of these guys, or he can stay there to help if we attack these defenders here. We might be able to do some damage to these guys. 2 of them are already reduced. And they are DG'd, which means they're going to be half defensive strength. And we're going to have a whole bunch of units. Now these guys are not out of supply, so they will be at full strength. I'm going to put these on top of the supply marker. This guy's at full strength as well. This guy, I think, is going to stay right there. Yep, looks good. I just hope you like the way I packaged the surprise. I'm sure I will love it anyways. So I'm going to just rotate this over just a little bit. See if I can... It's kind of hard when I got my camera sitting right in the way. I don't know if this light actually is helping. Let me turn this light off and... Yeah, I guess it does. Without the light, it's... But then I got this huge glare. I wonder, can I... No matter what I do, it's going to be glary. Jeez. Alright. Alright. So yeah, I mean, the Germans are going to be able to mess this setup up, but these guys will be able to get out of supply problems. And if they can do a number on this stack here, they're going to have a lot of attack value. But as far as movement goes, is there anybody else I want to move? I don't think... Yeah, this guy will stay right there. He's going to be a good blocker because this guy will not be able to retreat if he moves. Alright, so that's it for movement. Combat. Alright, so combat. We're going to have all of these units attacking this space right here. So let's calculate it up. It's 4. Now all these units are supplies that are half firepower. So that's 2.5. And 2.5 is 5. And 4 is 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. And 2.5 and 2.5 again is 5. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 5, 9, 9. So both of these stacks will be 9 and 9. So that would be 18 and 10 is going to be 28. And these guys will be half. So that's a 4, 8, 9. That's going to be 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 halved is 6.5. That's going to round up to 7. So that's going to be 28 divided by 7. And that's going to be 1 to 4. 1 to 4, or I'm sorry, 4 to 1, not 1 to 4. 4 to 1 odds. And this is a huge, huge roll for the Russians. They need... the pieces aren't glaring, so I'm good. It's good. Okay, good. Good to hear. Alright, so we'll pick up the thing here so we can... So this is a huge, huge roll. They got to do some serious damage to that. Oh my god, look at what they rolled. 12. That is huge. In this game, in Standard Combat Series, high rolls are good. Now I need my charts. Here's my charts. These guys, I believe, are just out in the open, correct? Yes, they are out in the open. So on the 4-to-1 column. And any adjustments, let's see, blah, 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 blah. I don't think so. Nope, I don't think so. So 4-to-1, down to 12 is D2R3. That is going to really be a problem for the Germans. Because, all right, so let's go slow here. Let's go slow. So, we're just going to pull these units out of the stack there, so we can see them. All right. So D2 means your highest defender. In this case, this unit's got a 5. Takes the first step loss. All right. Then the second step loss comes off of another unit. You can't use this unit. So these two are both the same units. So this unit's going to take a step loss and it's going to be removed. So that is huge. They wiped out the seven, I can't even read that, seventh, the second company of the, I don't know, it's a German unit. There we go. All right, so that is removed, and that's their 2 step losses. Now they have to retreat 3 spaces because of the result of R3. So that actually might save their bacon a little bit. So they are going to have to go 1, and because they are in an enemy zone of control, they will take a step loss again, and that unit will be removed. And they will go 2, and then they will go 3. Actually, no, they have to go 1, 2, 3. So when they get here, they're not, I don't know if you guys can see, I'll bring it around. So 1, take a step loss. 2, they're okay. 3, they have to remove. Now, that means the Russians can now advance 3 spaces if they wanted to. They would have to enter this hex. They could try to set up for an overrun. That's an interesting idea. But the problem is the Germans have so many tough units to try and overrun. It's 5, 6, 2. Oh, this is kind of a weak stack. 5. This is some artillery here. This could be prime overrun. They do have a looks like a mechanized infantry unit in there to help with 5 defense. But if they could knock these guys back or out, that would be super huge. They could move. I'm just throwing out an example here. So this guy could go into there. This guy could go into there, and this guy could go into there. That would be, let's see, 13. And then they could try to overrun this guy. 5, 6, 7. And that would be a 2-to-1. Or do they decide to keep their defenses bolstered as high as they possibly can. This guy can actually go 1, 2, 3 and kind of bolster this guy's defense. That's an interesting. Is stacking counters at all times or only? Yeah, you only check it at certain phases. During a retreat, you do not check it. Only at the I believe the end. But that's a good question. Let's just double check just to make sure. Let's just make sure. So that would be under, it's going to be the supply, I believe. Supply. It might, I remember reading it, so I'm going to take a second just to double check that because it is kind of important. Otherwise, you know what, is probably under stacking. Let me look under stacking. Stacking. Alright. Enforce stacking at each phase's end. At the instant of an overrun and at the end of an advance after combat. So you check it at the end of each phases. At the end of each phase, at the end of an overrun, and at the end of an advance after combat. In the overrun case, count both overrunning units and any units which happen to be in the hex. Reinforcements can overstack initially, but these stacks must break up when they come in, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I believe you only have to check it at the end of each phase, and then if you do an advance after combat or if you do an overrun, that's when you have to make sure your stacking is okay. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to bolster their defenses here. They feel pretty good about what just happened. This guy's going to come down and help support down in the south because they know the Germans are going to try and let's slide this back. Germans are going to try and come down and cut down their supply source again. It does open up supply over this way as well. So, but these Germans are going to come down and probably do some shenanigans or something. It will be interesting because now the other option is these guys could advance and then just come up and form a defensive wall here as well. Being surrounded is not a good idea. This guy could advance and then go over there, which would really hamper the Germans' ability to try and cut off the supply here. Now they do have these units which can come up and cut off supply. I think the object for the Russians is to hold this town, so I think they've lived through the initial assault wave of the Germans, and I think bolstering their defenses and keeping a supply source open and then forcing the Germans to waste an activation and moving up Problem is the Germans have so much artillery in this scenario. They have 1, 2, and there's 2 over here. Now that is an option. This guy actually could move here, because if he moves here, artillery can only barrage if you have an adjacent enemy. They have to barrage that enemy. They cannot choose to barrage someone else. So he could prevent this guy, these 2 artillery units, from barraging and DGing a bunch of Russian units. But the problem is the Germans have enough artillery that they're going to be able to DG everyone anyways. So, you know what? Strength in numbers, right? So, yep, they're going to go there. Boom, done. I'm not going to think about it and make too many decisions. Let's just do it and see how it goes, right? All right. So that was the combat. Exploitation, they're not going to do any exploitation because they're all adjacent to Germans, so they don't have that capability. So the units start adjacent, don't have it. They could have advanced in here and then done an exploit, but the problem is they don't have enough. 8, 13, 5, 6, 7. So that'd be a 2 to 1. 2 to 1. You would need to roll on a 2 to 1 attack. You need to roll at least a 7 or higher to get an attacker take a. So on a 2 to 1, a 7 would be attacker takes a damage and defender takes a damage. 8 is the attacker has to retreat, and then 9 is defender retreat, and you would have to roll a 10 just to get some damage. So it's not worth it for those Germans or for those Russians to try and go after these guys, I don't believe. But so that's going to be that. Exploitation, no. Supply. Checks for supply. Now, these guys can trace supply into this hex, and they can trace supply into this hex, and they can trace supply into this hex, and then they can trace supply into this hex and down to their supply source. So these guys are no longer out of supply. And that is huge because now they are full defensive value. And that is huge because you can see that is a 5-5-5. So right now their defense is 15 right now. Now that'll go down here in a minute because they're going to be DG'd because you know the Germans, well, you don't know. We have to draw a chit. So we'll see. So that was supply. DG removal. The Germans or the Russians do not have any DG units. Rough swordsman! What's going on, my friend? Hope all is well. Russians just took out a couple German units. Look at this. They're fighting back. The Ruskies are fighting back. They took out the 7 platoon of the 2nd Corps of this 3rd Battalion or something another. And they took out this unit too. So the Russians, they did all right. They rolled a 12, a natural 12 on the dice. And rolling high is good. And they rolled as good as they could possibly have done. So that's keeping them in this game because I had very little hope. Not only that, but they ended up reinforcing and getting their units back in supply now, which is huge. Now, we're going to move over here. This is my bag. As you can see, I don't have a bag. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I roll a 6, we'll just re-roll it. So let's see what the German player, which chit he draws out of the bag. 6. So we're going to re-roll it. Try it again. 2. So, of course, he drew the 11th Panzer, which is everyone, plus all of his reinforcements, plus everything. Alright, so this is where the Germans strike back. So you can see the Germans have a whole bunch of units up here just waiting to come in. These are all white striped units. So they are coming in. So they will be active. Oh, you guys can't see that. They'll be active. I got a whole bunch of units up there. And this is where they came in before, down that road. And now they can activate all these units as well. So, major activation shit. Now barrages. These units are not on the map yet, so they cannot barrage. So, but they have several barrages available. So they have, let's see how many they have in one. They have 2 in this stack. Damn it. They have 1. Alright, so he's got a strength of 2, range of 3. So you have to assign all your barrages first. Why am I not pulling from a bag? Because I don't have a bag. Simple as that. I don't have a bag. So you have to assign all your barrages before you just start rolling. You can't just say, well, this guy's going to attack this, roll, and see what happens. So you have to assign all your barrages. So these 2 units here, these 2 units are going to go 1, 2. I'm just going to put little marks there. This unit, and there's only 1 of them. He's got a strength of, damn. He's got a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna barrage this guy here. And then they have 2 there. So they're gonna put 1, 2 there. And then this guy, oh, there's 2 of them in here. Good Lord. He's got a range of 3. He's gonna, one of them's gonna barrage this guy. You know what? They're both gonna barrage that hex there. All right. Now it matters because some of these are strength 3 and some are strength 2. So we'll have to do this as correctly as we can. So this guy here, we'll do this guy first. He was attacking this hex right there. So he's got a strength of 2, which means on a 1 or 2, he will DG. Where's my DG markers? Here they are. I pull from a cup. I'll play some chit pull, Poland defeat later if people want to tune in, if ID is finished, of course. Yeah, I'm going to go for... I don't think we're going to get this whole turn in, to be honest. So we've been going for 30 minutes. I'll probably go for maybe, you know, another chit pull or something. I'm not going to go very long, maybe an hour. So yeah, let's say it's 8 o'clock. I'll be done by 8:30, I would think. So if you want to plan for 9 o'clock or something, that'd be cool. All right, so yeah, if he rolls a 1 or 2, he's going to DG that unit. So, all right, so let's start from this. Let's start from the bottom. We'll work our way up around. All right. So this unit here is a 2. So 1 or 2. He's going to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to get my dice tower out. Yeah, yeah. If I can find the bottom, where's my base? Where's my base? Oh my gosh, where's my base? Whoa! Where is my base? I got a base. What's that song? Oh my gosh. The base. Where's my base? Base. Alright, well anyways, whatever. I'll just put it on the table like this. So, could you guys see this? I'll just hold it. Frick it. I'll just hold it for a minute. Alright. Alright, so 2 strength going on this square here. 1 or 2. It's a 1. So he's going to DG that unit. So all those units become DG'd. Now, kill number. And he's not a yellow number. He's not a he's not an 88 millimeter unit. So he needs a 6. Let's see if I can do this without. I need my base. Hang on a minute. God damn it. Where's my base? It's all about the base. There you go. I couldn't think of the song. It's all about the base. Where's my base to my tower? Why do I not have my base to my tower? It's got to be in here. It's got to be around here somewhere. Where in the hell did I put my base? It's all about the base. I know it's got to be here. Where did I do with it? I don't know where it is. I'm looking in my drawer. Wait, what's looking here? I found my base. All right. There we go. All right. So he DG'd. Now we got to find out if it's a kill number. On the 6, it's a kill. Oh my gosh. They got the 6. Unbelievable. Which means one of these guys is going to take a step loss. And I believe it's... I don't think it has to be the strongest unit. I think... Well, let's look that up. On a barrage. Kill number on the it's barrage. Where is the barrage rules? The defender must flip a 2-step unit of his choice to its reduced side. Okay. So they're going to flip this guy over. Okay, so the defender gets to choose. Alright. So that was the first artillery from this thing, and that was huge. Now the second one is going to do the same thing. It is also got a number 1, 2, 3. So it's successful, which would DG it, but it's already DG'd. Units can't be DG'd again, but it does allow them to get another kill roll. No, that's a 5. So no kill roll. So that did end up taking a step loss, though. Alright, so that's these units. I don't think there's any artillery here, here, or here. This artillery here, though, is going for this stack right there. There's 2 attacks. So he's a 2. So 1 or 2, he will DG. Nope, that's a 6, so that's a miss. And the second one is a strength of 2 as well. 1 or 2, he needs to DG them. No, it's a 3. No DG. That's huge. The Russians are holding tough in the town. Oh, by the way, there is a town adjustment on that as well. What is the town? Village. Village is +1. What the hell? That seems a little weird. Why would it be a +1? Oh, +1 in the dice roll. Right, I got you. Okay, so yeah, these guys are in towns. Right, they're in what's the name of this town? Soyoskin. Right, Soyoskin. So it's going to be a +1 in the dice roll anyway. So these guys didn't end up DGing these guys. This guy, there's just one of them, right? Yes. So he was going for this guy here. He is a attack of 3. This guy is out in the open, yes. So no adjustment on the dice roll. We need a 1, 2, or 3. 1. So he has DG'd that unit. And the more DG units the artillery can do, the easier it'll be for all these Germans to just mow him over. So because he DG'd him and he was successful on his attack, he gets a kill roll. Again, just a normal, everyday 6. No kill. All right. And then these 2 units are going here. The first unit is a 3. So 1, 2, or 3. 3. All right. So these units become DG. No, I'm sorry. These guys are in a town, or the village. I'm sorry. They're in the village. So that is a +1. So he rolled a 3. So +1 is a 4, which means that's not successful. So the second guy with the +1 is a 5. So neither unit in town got DG'd. And that is huge because that means they're not going to be half defense. So that is all of the barrages. Barrages are done. By the way, guys, I did not clip these counters. Just want you to know, I did not clip these counters. This game came this way with these crappy... This was not done by a professional counter clipper, that is for sure. I mean, they look okay. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not the best looking unit counters in the world with the edges and stuff. No question to surrender. What's going on there? Do you have a taller dice tower? That one's a bit short. No, that's the tallest one I have. Okay, so that was what phase was that? So that was barrages. Road march, right. Now come the road marches. So these guys are going to be able to come barreling down the road. And they're going to leave one back here to protect their artillery. The rest of these guys are just going to... Alright, so... down the road... Oh, well, I'll do him last. Sorry. Down the road. And must stop. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to go there. This guy's going to do the same thing. He's going to end up there. This guy's going to end up there. This guy's going to end up here. And this guy's going to end up here. This guy will end up here. This guy will end up here, here, here. Alright, so more Germans are coming down the road to help out. Okay, that was road movement. Now regular movement. So for regular movement, the Germans are just going to stack their artillery up on the hill here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put this guy right there as a reinforcement in case anybody comes over here from the flank. They'll have to deal with this guy first. Alright, the rest of the movement now. Let's see, I can probably set this down a little bit. A little bit higher would be nice. See my wonderful my wonderful stand is just a bunch of cards. Yeah, that's what I have for my high-tech professional. Am I enjoying the standard combat system? Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's kind of manageable-ish. I think this scenario is whack. I don't think the Russians stand much of a chance, but the Russians are actually putting up a fight here. But that is going to be over here now that these artillery have arrived here. The problem is these artillery here, if it'll focus in on them. Come on, focus. These artillery you see are in yellow, which means they will have a kill number on a 4, 5, or 6. And they got a range of 16. So they can hit anybody. So they're just going to sit back there on the hill and just lob artillery and just decimate. So it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to DG somebody, and then there's a 4, 5, or 6 to damage them. So they're only one step. No, there are 2 steps. I'm sorry, there are 2-step units. I was thinking they were only 1 step, but there are 2-step units. So, yeah, they're gonna be there. I guess I should put these guys in hexes somewhere instead of just like randomly. There, I put them in these hexes. All right. Now, movement phase. Yeah, we're gonna get this. We're gonna go ahead and just finish this activation, and then we're gonna probably call it an episode because we've been going for 47 minutes. I do appreciate everyone coming out. Russ Swordsman Wargamer, Wardrobe, 2 wonderful wargaming channels. Everyone else that came by, I appreciate it. I know Philip Reynolds was here for a little while. He's starting up his new channel, so that's good for him, and wish him all the best of luck. He had a channel for a while, but then I think he had run into some technical difficulties and hasn't been able to do it for a little while until he got reset up. So, movement. So now they can do movement. Yeah, this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he just put a big old crimp in that. These guys cannot do an overrun. Yes, they can do an overrun. What am I thinking? Yes, they. It doesn't matter if they start adjacent. That's only in the exploitation phase. So they could try and overrun this X actually. This is our kill stack though. We want to use our kill stack to kill things. So they're going to go 1, 2. Hang on. What are these guys coming in? What are these guys? These guys are kind of wimpy. They're a 1, 3, 1, 3 artillery unit. Oh, these guys are 88s though. So they hit on a 5 or 6. Or they get a kill number on a 5 or 6. So they want to get within 2 hexes of the town. So these guys are going to move up. Right there. So it's going to cost them 3 movement points to move there. And then these guys are going to fill in, come down the road and fill in. Come in the road, down the road, and fill in right there. They're just a placeholder because they want to bring their 88s right here, which means they'll be 2 spaces away. And then this guy can come and, I don't know, just help protect this guy, I guess. And that's the reinforcements. And like I said, the rest of the guys set up on the hill, and they have 1 unit defending there, just in case the Russians decide to send somebody there. They're gonna bring this guy there. They're gonna bring this guy there. No sense in leaving. And they'll bring this guy over here actually. So we'll have 3 artillery units in one thing. That's fine. That never hurt anybody. 2 artillery units. Yeah. And then they're going to bring their kill stack around and bring them up right there. And now these guys in the village of Soyozkin has been completely surrounded. Yeah. It's going to get real ugly really fast here, I think. But I did hear that the practice scenarios or the training scenarios or whatever you want to call it, the non-campaign game is usually not very well balanced or thought out. Maybe. Alright. So there you go. Poor Russians are in the town. Kill stack isn't an ASL term. Yes, it is. Sure is. So that is movement. They decided not to do any overruns. They don't need to do overruns, I don't think. Now is combat. And unfortunately, they didn't end up DGing these guys. So these guys are 15 defense. So they're going to need some super firepower. Let's see here. That is 3, 6, and a 7. That's 13. And 3. Wait, what? 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 5 is 26, and 31. So right now they're 2-1 between these guys. If they throw these guys in, that is 20. They have 20 strength. So go up to 3-1. So yep, they're going to try a 3-1 attack. It is a town. Our village. So it shifts 1. Really? Wow. See, by not DGing these guys, that's huge because that makes such a big difference. But excuse me. My goodness. So yeah, instead of 4-1, they're in no rush because they got their artillery ready to go. These are in Soyozkin. They could, you know what? They could try to take this guy out. And these guys here as well. Do they want to do one big attack up there? It'd only be 2-1 odds. Yeah, they're feeling frisky. Why not? You know what? No. Yeah, they got at least 2 more activations from their 11th Panzer. They can get DGs from these and all their other artillery. No sense in wasting an attack. So what they're going to do is they're going to these guys are going to take out this guy that's DG'd. So he's got a defense of 2.5, which rounds up to 3. So this guy is a 20, right? So that's 20 versus 3. What is that? That's 7-1 already. This stack versus this guy is 7-1. You can see what a big difference DGing is. And, you know, not having a whole bunch of units in the stack, but 23. I'm sorry, 6-1. That's 18, sorry. Yeah, 6-1, which the most it goes to is 5-1 anyways. These guy, I believe, is out in the open. Yes, he is. So it's just a flat up. It's just a flat up. 6. Defender D1R1. D1R1 is going to be dead because he's going to be flipped and he's got nowhere to retreat. So he's going to take a step loss. If he puts up a determined defense, he's got to take a step loss. And he will put up a determined defense. Well, that will not allow the Germans to advance at least. So he puts up a determined defense. I think if he gets wiped out, I'm going to have to check that rule, but I think if you put up a determined defense and you don't end up... Why is this not focusing? Hello? Is it because it's too high? Do I have too many decks of cards out? Sorry. What does DG do? DG will basically cause your unit to be really disorganized. Disorganizes them. The effects of it, I will tell you what the effects are in just a moment. Da, 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 da. Charge! Well, why can't I find it now? There's a whole list of things that happen, like your attack is half firepower, your defense is half firepower, zones of control, movements, stacking, combats, step losses, retreats. I'm not sure where it is, to be honest. Where is it? Oh, here. Disorganized units. Units become DG'd because of barrage fire or as a result of being overstacked at the end of a retreat. DG units suffer the following penalties. Their attack, barrage, defense, and movement range are half. They lose exploit capability, they have no zone of control, and they cannot road march. There is your explanation of disorganized units. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Okay, so what was I doing now? So these guys, wipe these guys out. I was going to look up... yeah, maybe this game doesn't have determined defense. That's my Normandy 44. Sorry. That's Normandy 44 that has determined defense. So these guys take a step loss and then they have to retreat into an enemy zone of control. Friendly units do not... Oh, right. So this has the no retreat option. So in combat result calls for one or more retreats, the owning player can convert any retreat amounts into step losses as 1 step per hex basis. So therefore, if a retreat of 3 result, the player may opt for a retreat 3 steps with no losses, retreat 2 steps with 1 loss, or retreat once and take 2 step losses, or no retreat and lose 3 steps. So it's kind of a if you want to do that option. I was seeing if he could retreat there, because that is a Russian stack. Units can only retreat into the through hexes that the unit can move through. Units which cannot retreat, blah blah blah. Any hex containing an enemy zone of control, friendly units do not negate this, which a retreating unit enters during its retreat, costs the retreating unit 1 step. This loss is in addition to the combat results itself. The stack must lose a step total per enemy zone of control hex entered. The owner player chooses the unit to lose a step. So, your friendly units do not negate this. Any hex containing an enemy zone of control. So this guy, if he, so he can do, he took a D1 R1, which means he took a step loss, and then he can choose to not retreat and take a step loss, or he can retreat and end up in an enemy zone of control and get eliminated that way. Doesn't really matter. He is gone. For sure. He's gone. Gone, gone, gone. These guys could advance after combat, so they could move there, but not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. Am I feeling it? Not really. All right, what do we have down here? We have a 5 and a 3. That's an 8. We have a 15. That'd be a 2 to 1. This stack is going to attack these guys here. Or, you know what? Cancel that. These guys are DG'd. They have a 3, which is 1.5, and a 2.5. That's going to be 2.5, 3.5, 4. So they're going to have a defense of 4. These guys have got an attack. Well, let's see. Let's see what we have besides that. We have a 5, 8, 11, and 5, 16. So 4, 16. That's a 4 to 1. They're in clear terrain. 4 to 1. Germans will take a 4 to 1. So they're just going to attack with these guys and these guys. That's frees these guys up to maybe attack them. So 4 to 1. Or do they want to go all in and just try to wipe that unit out? They could throw these guys in and then really wipe that unit out. Yes, they will do that. The reason they will do that, I will show you why. 6, 6, 3. That's 15. Hell, what was the number now? 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 versus 4. That would be 8 to 1. So it's an 8 to 1. So There is no 8 to 1, but they are in the 5 to 1 column, so they're gonna. Everyone is going after these guys. Oops, I don't need that. I just need the camera. Huh. Rolled an 8. 8 on the 5 to 1 is D1R2. D1R2. So strongest unit is going to have to take a step loss. And now they can choose to retreat to 1. They're going to take a step loss, which is going to be this guy, and then 2. Now, advance after combat. This guy's going to advance. This guy's going to advance. And this guy's going to advance. And this guy will advance. Because we had to retreat 2, we can advance 2. The first hex you have to enter is the hex the enemy was in, but then you can go anywhere after that. He's going to go up there. Actually, you know what? He's going to go there. He's going to help support this guy. Alright, so that was an attack there. We're not doing any attack there until we DG these guys. This guy took it on the nose and had to retreat. Let's tip this up a little bit if I can. All right. This is just not a great setup all the way around. I hate my setup. I really hate my setup. But, you know, do what we can. All right, so that is, what was that? That was the combat. Now we exploitation. So, exploitation phase. These guys are going to exploit and go. Now, do they go after these guys or these guys? I think they're going to go after these. Let's see, that would be 8 defense, 12, 17 to be 2 to 1. 2 to 1, huh? Or they could wipe this guy out. I think they're going to wipe that guy out. They're going to go 1, 2, or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 movement points to overrun this guy right here. And it is going to be an 18 to 3, which is a 6 to 1. He's out in the open, so no adjustment on the defense. And another. Oh, we only rolled a 3 though. This could be trouble. 3. Oh no. Attacker 1, defender 1. That's unfortunate for the Germans. They ended up killing the unit, but they put up a fight, and we got to take it off our strongest unit. And this guy was going to take it on the chin. Ouch. And they have to move into that hex like that. Any other exploitation? If you start adjacent, so all these units are kind of locked in combat, they can't exploit. That's why we did that. Remember how, so strategy-wise, right? So there was that unit there, and we were trying to decide if we were going to attack with those units on that unit or not. And we decided to add them there. And the reason we did was so that they can move away from this unit and then be able to exploit in the exploitation phase. So by adding those into the combat, they were able to, and they wiped those guys out, they were able to advance and get away from this unit. And then they were able to track down and use the exploitation and overrun to do another attack and ended up wiping that unit out after all. So that's just a little bit of strategy, I think. Oh dear, crikey! Oh boy! Here we go with the crikey. Your setup can't be any worse than my. Oh my gosh, my setup is horrible, man. Look at this is my. I'm using like a stack of cards to hold my camera on. It's just. Ugh. And then it's in the way, and I got cables dripped everywhere, and I mean, look, I got my microphone here. I got my cables knocking. You know, my cables are knocking on my counters. It's just. Ugh. I hate my setup. Hate my setup. Hate it. All right, so that I think that's exploitation. These guys are. These guys could exploit, but they're auxiliary units. Do they want to actually? Yeah, there's because the Russians are coming next, and we're afraid they're going to try and cut us off. So we're going to keep these guys together. The Germans are going to get to go 2 more times. In this one turn, they wiped out 3 Russian units. In that one, that one activation, they ended up wiping out 3 Russian units. Now, all they have to do is DG these guys. They've got it set up. They got enough firepower there to take them out. So the Russians got to get their next activation, get these guys to come on, and weaken these Germans so that they can't overwhelm them in the village of Soyoiskin. Alrighty, so that's I think let's see, is that the end of the phase? Exploitation supply. I think all the Germans are fine. He can trace supply out. They can. He can. This guy can trace supply over this way and around. So I think everyone's fine. And that'll be it for our second activation. In turn number 2, it'll be the Russians' turn next. They, again, just as a reminder, they have their all units. They have another 1st tank and 5th mech. They have their all infantry cavalry, which are all the units without the pink, which are all the reinforcements coming in. And then they have their dummy counter. So it'll be interesting to see what they get. And also, don't forget, they also get their planes, which they failed to get the first go, their first activation. So maybe they can get a plane the next time, and if the planes can come in and do some damage and DGing, like if they, this stack here has got 20 firepower. If a plane comes in and DGs it, it only has a 10 firepower. So that's half firepower by just having that plane come in. If you get 2 planes coming in, right? You take out half their firepower just by having that one. That's why I kind of like this, is because, it seems like, oh, this is over and blah, blah, blah. But then, you like it happened in the first turn. The Russians broke a big hole in, and they knocked out 2 German units here, and everything looked good. And then the Germans again, and now it looks bad again, and it's constant ebb and flow back and forth. It looks bad for the Russians, and I think it is going to end up being bad. But, like I said, they got a lot of reinforcements that come on. So, they get some reinforcements here. They got a whole bunch of firepower here. They could do some damage to these stacks. And kind of, all they have to do is hold on to this town. That's all they have to do. Problem is, this artillery up here on the hill is just lurking. Alrighty, well, that'll be it for our episode. Thanks to Wardrobe, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. Be sure to check out these wonderful channels, and we will see you all soon. We'll pick us up with the Russian activation and turn number 2 next time. And hopefully we'll get Rough Swordsman and Wardrobe and some more of our good friends on our live stream and get a chance to talk with them. And we'll see you all next time. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.